Welcome to the first of a series of devlogs talking about my indie game project, NeonTail. The game is like around 10% done, and everything can change until the final release. So, for this first devlog, I wanted to talk about why I chose what seems to be a curious choice of control mapping for a roller skating game. My name is Feili and I make video games. I touch everything from concept art, game design, modeling, animating, coding and making music. I'm basically obsessed with video games. Anyway, let's talk about NeonTail. Roller skating in NeonTail might be quite surprising the first time you try. On gamepads, the triggers are used to skate forward and backward. You usually see that kind of input mapping in driving simulations, like on cars, tanks or boats. But why did I choose to have this on a roller skating game? Well, somehow I actually find it more legitimate to have this in a roller skating game than on those driving games. You see, in driving games, 90% of the time you'll be pressing the right trigger. Braking or driving backwards just happens less frequently. On the other hand, in NeonTail, my goal is for you to go backward as often as forward. Among the reasons I could give to justify such ambition is bringing up a new gameplay sensation and a pleasant freshness mixed with style. So here's a game design puzzle for you to solve. New players will be pressing right trigger all the time. How would you teach a new player that releasing the right trigger and playing with the direction is the coolest way to control both your speed and trajectory? While it might take some time to get used to as a new way of playing, this choice can bring new sensations, new game designs and new possibilities. I will try to slowly teach players to get into my control layout, rather than trying to get the same sensations you find while playing Jet Set Radio or Tony Hawk. Also, if I try to get sensations you can already have in other games, I'm not even sure I would make it better than the originals. So there isn't much point on recreating again their gameplay. I'm not saying I will revolutionize the world of video games, nor that my control mapping choice is the craziest thing ever, but at least there's the intention to bring something fresh and new. Anyway, I think a good way to teach the player a new control mapping that takes a while to get used to is to use other things to keep the player interested enough in the game until the player feels comfortable with this new control mapping and even enjoys it for the new things it brings. What I have in mind for NeonTail is pacing the game between gameplay, plots or objectives, while keeping in mind the player's learning curve so I could steadily introduce concepts to the player without making it a chore. The skating is but 1/3 of what the game is all about after all, so it's all good. Another thing going with the skating is all the tricks and combos, tied to a system of reputation points. The more combos you perform in the streets under the awestruck gazes of pedestrians, the more reputation you will gain. And the more reputation you have, the more things you can do. I'll talk about that another time. The point is, there's an ongoing incentive to perform combos all the time. Combos are performed by chaining tricks. Tricks are performed by doing specific actions in specific orders, like grinding, jumping, turning around and landing on rails again, for example. Tricks that involve skating backward will usually give the player more reputation points as it is harder to do. I think this system might prove good enough to keep the players performing combos as much as they can, while making use of this new control layout in a good way. And beside tricks and combos, I would like the players to release the triggers for better turning and braking control. I often see them never releasing RT and go hit all the walls, then complain about it not being more like Tony Hawk or Jet Set Radio. I know, it would be easier because you're more accustomed to it. But trust me, releasing more or less during a turning drift feels better than just moving the stick there. I just need to find a way to teach players this new control layout's good points through fun and entertaining game design. Not an easy task. It's simple in concept, but very hard to teach in game. Maybe I should add a beautiful drift reputation gain in my trick list. We'll see. Well, that's about it for now. I got a ton of work to do, so I'll see you in the next devlog. I will slowly catch up to my newest update, but I wish to talk more about the basic game concepts first. Anyway, what do you think about the roller skating controls? How would you work it out if you were in my shoes? I'll make sure to take a look at your comments, and if you want to reach me, you can join the Discord channel from the link below. And by the way, you can keep following my progress and I'll try to create interesting videos as the production of NeonTail goes on. And if you like this project, know that you can both help me out and get a reward in return by going to this Patreon page. I really need the help and you'll get cool things too. You'll be able to follow my progress in depth, get your name inside the game, get debug builds every month, or even get your logo or the visuals of your choice in the advertising panels, posters or walls in the streets inside the game. If this ain't your thing, we can also discuss in detail about what kind of thing you would like to see in the game directly. May it be a statue, a bridge, an NPC, a mini quest, an Easter egg, a plushie, a specific shop, or a plane flying with your name across the sky. I mean, there's a huge amount of possible things to do in a futuristic city. The apocalypse with Godzilla might take more work than modeling a plushie, so of course there's limit to the requests. In any case, thank you for watching this video and I hope to see you again. See you next time!